What's up, world? This your boy Tommy Mab, and I came to give my story time and what I like to call my hood stories. My hood stories are just glorious. Um, I grew up in South Florida, Southwest Florida, um, Fort Myers and Markley to Fort Myers to be exact. So I'm from I'm from down here. It's pretty bad down here. I think per capita we have some of the one of the worst murder rates in all of America. So it's pretty bad down here. And I grew up in that in the hood, and it was and I'm talking about if you've never lived in the hood, living in the hood is like reality television 24/7. Like it's just beautiful. Like you're constantly. I used to literally when I was in the hood get along. You ever drive through a ghetto area and you always see everybody sitting out on the porch. You know why they do that? Is because you can't find anything on TV that can compare to the craziness you see on a daily basis. Um, I grew up with my four cousins. I mean, two of my cousins and my brother. We were like four brothers, though. We lived together. We grew up together. So my cousin Josh, who me and him was really close. My cousin Brandon, we're all close, but he was closer to my brother, who was my brother's name was Ron, and we all grew up together. And we always had these shades of friends and stuff of that nature. And, you know, and we always had these characters. So like I said, I love to really talk about, my life in the hood, my life living in the hood. So my first episode um that I remember was my first foray. I grew up in Immokalee, which is a farming town. It's an immigrant town. Yeah, there's really nothing there outside of immigrants, and so it's real country, um, not a city life at all. I think we don't have a Walmart, and we had a Winn Dixie. That was the Winn Dixie. We didn't have a McDonald's until I was like 14. All we had was a Burger King's and a Wendy's in the entire town, because it's not a city; it was a town. Um, uh, I'm trying to think of yeah, family. We didn't, all we had was a Family Dollar. So you had to go like 40 miles to get anything name brand. So it was like real country, and it wasn't as bad, crime wise. So I'm a country boy, when I was a little kid, my mom, I moved with my aunt when I was like 11, right before my sixth grade year in high school. So I don't, I move over there, and it's like, culture change because I grew up in Immokalee, which is country, and I come over here and it's like big, like crime central. Like literally, they robbed the street bus when I was out. When I was out there, so the street bus couldn't come through the neighborhood because they used to rob the street bus. How the hell you rob a street bus? Like I still have a hard time wrapping my head around how you rob a street bus. Like how do you even get any money from that? But anyway, they couldn't do it. They couldn't deliver. I mean, it was bad. So my first foray there, I just remember thinking how crazy it is. My first day there, we end up going to like they used to have like this block party thing for the little kids. It's like so all the little kids would go out there and it's like this church thing. I think it was called like Sidewalk Sunday or something like that. It was like this traveling church used to come out there and preach to all the kids. And so they would give free lunches and it would be these kids out there. I had never been there, like I said, I grew up country. Everybody knew everybody. So coming here, it was new. I really didn't want to do it, but I was like, what's the difference? I'll just go. So it was just me and my cousin Brandon, and we went to the to this little sidewalk Sunday school thing, not knowing like what the hell, like we're not used to that type of situation. Like we little kids, we just going to the thing. My cousin, they give us our lunch. The guy tried to come over and take my cousin's lunch. Like it's prison. We like two green guy, green inmates coming in for the first time. We don't know what's going on. He tries to debo my cousin, jump my cousin. We ain't punks, so my cousin pushed him. Before we knew it, his cousin, who ended up becoming one of my best friends, which was his name. Everybody calls him Chico, but his name's Tyrone. But he ended up being one of my best friends. Really cool dude now. But we were really little then. I think it was like I said, I was like 11. My cousin was like 9, so we were really young at this time. And I think Chico was like the same age, around 9. So it was a situation where we almost got in a fight. Like my first day there, so we going back and forth. Um, uh, and next thing we know, it's like freaking they went and got their entire family, and then my cousin who was from Fort Myers. I'm not from Fort Myers, so I had no family over there. He had family over there, and he went and got his family, and he was like this whole big thing over like this 2 second thing. So that was my introduction into Fort Myers, like chaos from the beginning. So, I don't know what's going on. That like 2 days later, I come sit out on the porch. I'm just sitting out there, and there's this kid named Deke, and he was always talking about his stories, shooting people, and he was talking about like he's always in a mess, like but anyways, he was talking, he's talking on the corner. He's like, he always tells stories like theatrical, like this theatrical overview to it, like everything was like larger than life. He's like, I'm sitting. He's like, man, I'm walking up to the nigga. I'm like, nigga, you know who I am, nigga. I'm this, that, and third. He's like, the dude, like, come on, deep man, please, no, please, no. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I look at this nigga, start whipping him with the pistol. So he used to do these stories every single day. You always thought like, oh, it's not real. Like he's just saying this stuff. Next thing, that was like 2 days after I heard the story. It's like everybody, it's like happen every day, almost like a school bell. You hear gunshots, pop pop, and every single time, everybody would run, and then after the commotion came back, everybody would run back to see what happened. So then he got shot. He got shot like 5 times, and I don't know if he died or not. I never really paid. I know I never saw him sitting on that corner after that day. But I remember he used to always have his little war stories talking about hitting people. I remember coming outside, like this all happened within the first week of me being there. The gunshots, and I'm like, the hell have I moved into? Um, there was this other guy who used to run from the police all the time. Well, it wasn't one particular guy; everybody ran from the police. But this guy used to always be in the car, or several people used to be in cars running from police. But every day, but this particular guy, I remember we were sitting down on the porch. This guy comes driving through, and the police are after him. So I guess he's like the ghetto hero, because in the ghetto, if you do this, the more stupid you make the police officer look, the bigger your street cred goes up. So he stops right in front of the house I was staying at, and he goes, and then shoots off. Like 2 seconds later, all we hear is, so he hit, because it's like this brick wall that they used to. I always used to believe it was to keep the animals inside here from getting out, but the police ended up T-boning him. He flipped and hit the wall, and then the people said, "That's a damn shame. That's a shame for them to do him like that. That is a shame." That is a shame. That is a shame. Like, y'all wrong. And I'm sitting there thinking, even as a little kid, I thought to myself, this makes no sense. He was just running for the police officers, putting everybody and all of you in danger by doing a high speed police chase in the middle of a freaking crowd of people standing around. He's doing a high speed chase, loses control of his car, and hits the side of the wall. And y'all saying the police officers are in the wrong? I remember even as a little kid thinking that's so stupid. Like obviously this idiot shouldn't have been running from the police officer. We had this other kid, this other guy named Puka Duke, who used to always run from the police as well. That literally was his name. I don't know if it's pronounced Puka Duke or Pooker Duke. I don't know. I just know everybody used to always say it fast. So it always sounded like they were saying Puka Duke. Um, so his name was Puka Duke. And he had trespass warrants. So anytime a police officer would come, he would take off running. So like daily, you would see him running for the police. All the time, every time it was for trespass because he got a trespass out in our project. So he was running, he would run, and he would always make the police officers fall, and then they'd be like, "Go Puka Duke, go, go Puka Duke, go!" And he would be running, shaking. He was like a real good football player in high school, so he was like really fast and he could and really elusive. So he would like stop and do little shake moves, and the police officers would fall over, and they always would lose it. You know, they would always be like talking about how great he was and yelling, "Go Puka Duke! Go Puka Duke!" And he would shake them and cut and anyways, it always end up the same way. He would end up getting slammed on his head. His shirt would be all torn, and he have like a dirt. He get like dirt all whole left side would be dirt. Because after a while he gets tired. And it's like four of them and one of him, so they would catch him and just slam him on his head. But he would always say this every time. So now every time I make a joke, I always say this because it became a running joke with me and my cousins. Hey, call my mama, man, because he would say this every single time you were on. He would end up being taken back. Hey, somebody follow me to make sure these crackers don't try to beat me up, man. Hey, call my mama. He used to say this like every single time he would get caught. And after a while, I'm sitting up there thinking to myself, if I'm these people, at some point I'm gonna stop and say, no, you deserve this one. Like, come on, dude, you can't be sitting up here every single day running from the police officer, yet showing up again after you. First of all, ain't nothing really gonna happen to you. You're running from a trespass warrant, so really, what is really gonna happen to you? But anyway, he would run around in circles, shaking and cutting people, and they would always yell his name. Um, he was like he played like I said he played football. I'm trying to think of any other really funny stories. Most of the funniest stories dealt with people getting beat up because in the hood everybody talks big shit like they the best fighters in the world. And there's always somebody to battle. And and one rule of thumb in the hood: if you talk a lot, you generally probably can't fight. And that was definitely the rule where I grew up. Um, and they were like the funniest fights would always be started over nothing. Like it would be like the smallest little thing, and they get into these these big fights. Uh, One of the funniest fights was I think I was in middle school. So this guy named Jay and this guy named Tavares, right? So Jay was like one of my best friends, then. Now we've kind of grown apart. But not kind of, we've grown way apart. But we don't even I think we stopped speaking in like ninth grade. But he was like we were really good friends early, like at this point. So Jay was talking to me and Tavares and him had traded they either traded video games and back in the day, that's how I used to do. People would trade cartridges. Give me this game, I take this game, and that's just how they roll. So he traded him the video game, and Jay was like I guess Tavares didn't like the video game that Jay gave him, so he was mad. He was like, "You gonna give me? Like, man, you need to give me." And he's always talk with this funny little raspy, weird thing to his voice, and he would always say, You like, man, he was like, man, that was garbage. And he would always slap everything he used to fall back and slap the seat, the bus seat. He's like, you gave me that garbage ass video game. He was like, bro, give me my tape back. And I remember Jay was like, I ain't got no problem, man. Like, I'll give you your tape back, but you know what I'm saying? But chill, like, just as long as you give me mine. And though he walks up to Jay, and Jay's a big guy. Like, this guy wasn't that big, and Jay was pretty big at the time, you know. And he walks up to Jay and he pushes Jay's head and he's like, you gonna give me my tape. And so I'm sitting up and Jay was like, don't put your hands on me. I'm gonna give you your jump back. Don't put your hands on me again. He walked up and said, you gonna give me my tape, nigga. And he pushed him and Jay just caught back and blah! I mean, he fell back and Jay just got on top of him. You know how you see the seat, but all you see is the hand going up and just the fist going down. So he pushed Tavares in the seat and just went to just jagging him. So they broke it up. They got it. So they didn't break him up. They kind of pulled Jay off. So they got into the middle of the thing and they started going like this. And Tavares was like, "What nigga? What nigga? What nigga?" And his lip was bleeding or whatnot. Jay rushed him again, picked him up by his neck. And you know, remember back in the day when you was like the bus and you got the back of the bus where they had like that little exit door and then they have like this little pad right over the exit door. So Jay picks him up with one hand and slams him against the thing. Like, nigga, you know you went, nigga, this Jay. And he caught back and went to hit him. And Jabbar's like, you can see his eyes get like so scared. He catches the fist and like starts like trying to force it back down. And finally, after and I'm talking about after that, he sat quiet like the entire time. And right before he got off, I guess to save some face, he was like, "Nigga, I better not see you in the neighborhood, nigga." Yeah, yeah, not needless to say, Jay was out in the neighborhood and Tavares didn't do anything. But yeah, he was that was one of the funniest fights. My first year there. Another funny fight was this I remember this not really a hood story. This is more of a school story. But it was this kid named Kurt. He was like I guess he said the N word or something like that. And everybody found out he said the N word, so they like pointed him out. You know how it goes. They like, oh, that kid over there called somebody N word. Is that? So they catch the kid, and the kid they walk. Uh, one of my friends walk up to him and like, did you say the N word? And he looked at him and said, I don't know, get out of my face. Like, like real G style. Like, I don't know, get out of my face. So the dude was like he looked at his friend. I mean, he looked back at us and was like, should I hit him? And they were like, and everybody was like, yeah, hit him, hit that crime. So the dude, his name was Kurt, and and when my homeboy put his hand on his neck, he was like, "Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me!" And then he rushed and pushed, like trying to hype himself up, and he ran at him and put his forearm on him. And I remember the dude just knocked his arm down, just blah, and punched him, like knocked him out. Like he first the punch hit him, and then his face hit the side of the wall, like pop pop, and he just fell out. And that was one of the funniest fights ever because he was a dickhead. But that was more of a school fight. In the ghetto, it was just fight after fight after fight. But like I said, I gotta get more into it to kind of go along with some of these stories that I have. But that was some of my early stories, and I have more of them as we go beyond about my life stories. Because I got a few life stories and some of the funniest things that happened to me while I was in the hood. But just for this week, I wanted to talk about, you know what I'm saying, what probably, what was it? Because I'm kind of drawing a blank on what I wanted to ask. Because I had a mindset of what I was talking about, and I can't even remember it. Okay. Well, since I'm here, I'll go ahead and talk about the first time. My first, my first. We didn't run the train, but the first time somebody tried to get me to run the train. That was I think I was like 14 or 15 years old. Really nasty story, but no, I don't want to tell that story because that's a little long, and I really don't want to talk too much longer. So I'll give you guys a quick, funny story that could go along with that can be over and done quick. So this is my last story this week before I come back with another one next week. But this situation happened when I ran into. We had this gay guy who used to live in our neighborhood. His name was Baby. No, it wasn't Baby. It was I can't remember. I just called him T, right? So because I think his name started with a T, but he was like a cross dressing tranny. So he was always weird, like little kids when you see trannies, you don't look at like you don't see like trannies are scary when you're a little kid because they just look weird and they look like clowns. So in your mind, you just get scared of them. And I used to be scared of this one tranny named T, and well, that's not his real name, but I'm calling him T. And we used to run from it every time he would come around. So, anyways, one day they used to have these in the hood. It's fairly common for them to have what's called home stores. Like that means people sell food and products out of their home. And so we had this one Spanish dude who used to sell stuff from his window, juice and whatnot. So you come there, you give him, he would have like quarter juices in his hand there. So I went and got one of the juices, and what happened with that dude? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I went to go buy my juices. So I didn't know that this tranny was behind me. So I go to get my stuff, and then I turn around, and you a little kid, you can't hide it. So when he got it, I just looked because he was just standing there. And I remember just having this complete face of fear. And he looks at me and he said, "What you shaking your head for?" And I was like 11 years old at the time. And I remember thinking in my mind well, it's kind of obvious what way I wasn't shaking my head, but it's kind of obvious where the fright in my face is coming from. You're abnormal, and I remember running all the way home, scared out of my wits. So from that point on, I was like really afraid of like trannies. And so like 2 weeks later, I'm walking. I used to walk to my aunt's house a lot. When this wasn't, I said a few months later. It was like more close to months later, not even days, like months later. I'm walking down the street, and it's like they used to say that these trannies would run out and they would rape little boys. So I was little then. So I used to walk to my aunt's house, and so I'm walking and I just hear somebody yell, "Hey, what you doing?" And I turn, it's the house where all the gay people. All of them, I see all of them. Like, well, not all of them. There's only three of them. They came running out of the house, jumped in a truck, and I remember running, just running. And they're coming. And I saw them jump in the car and run after, hit the street and just start riding down the street. I guess they were looking for me. I dove in a ditch and like hid for like 30 minutes before I got out and left. So I don't know if they was trying to like do something, but I remember as a little kid just being deathly afraid of trannies, And it wasn't until I got a little older that I really realized what trannies really was. I used to think they were like born like weird people who were like born weird. But anyways, like I said, I got a lot more stories. I just gotta think of them. Next time I'll be a little more prepared, a little more focused. Cause right now I'm kind of all over the place. Cause this is really fairly new for me. I'm not really good at the lifetime, story stuff. Because I'm kind of more majority of my podcast I do is sports, so it's more centered. This is more spur of the moment. Um, Trying to think of stories on the spot and trying to remember everything that goes on with it. So, but next time I'll try to remember it before I pop up and give you guys a story time. But anyways, if you like it, please comment, hit that thumbs up, and please take the time to subscribe. Peace.